Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. So today we're going to be using cotton buds and watercolours to create our art. I've got a couple of examples here and I'll show you through these two techniques, but then I'm sure you can think of lots of other ways to use them as well. So here we have these flowers are actually called buddleia. It's quite ironic because we're using cotton buds to paint them, but these are a lovely flower to use cotton buds to paint. It suits it really well. We also have almost like a silhouette. So I've used an elephant and done the silhouette in colour. A silhouette is where you have just a bold image with no patterns or details on it. It's just the outline filled with colour. So I'll show you how we do these as well. So what we'll need for this workshop is some watercolour paper. You'll find this in your craft box. It's got a real texture to it. This watercolour paper, it's great because it absorbs a lot of the water, but not much of the pigment. So the pigment's like the colour in the paint. So that's why this paper is best, but if you want to use other paper too, you can. Then we'll also need, of course, our cotton buds. We'll need a pair of scissors, your paintbrush, your pot to hold the water, and then your watercolour palette. You'll also need just a piece of scrap paper. Okay, so if we get started. So if we start with these flowers called buddleia, I will show you how we create this really fine stem and the leaves, because that's what we'll start on today. So I'm going to start with my scrap piece of paper, just to practice the fine lines and the leaves. So I use the top of my watercolour palette for my palette to mix my paint on. So I've added a little bit of water and then I'm just creating the colour. So you don't have to use the colours that are already there. I'm mixing a dark green, a light green, and I'll mix some brown as well, just to create that kind of olive green that I really want my stems and my leaves to be. So you can see I'm just using the very tip of my paintbrush, whereas then you can see I put more pressure on for that thicker line. With the leaf I go from thin to thick to thin. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure, a lot, and then a little, a little, a lot, and then a little. And you can see that blank space in between, that's like the main vein running through the leaf. Or, as well as these, I can do just a blob, almost like a little leaf that's just shooting, just about to shoot. So once I've practiced and I'm happy, I can then go on to my main piece. So I'm going to start over on the left hand side and have them bending over to the right. So I'm going really fine all the way along, and I'm going to do 2 buddleia for my one. It's better doing too fine than too thick because you can always add more. Okay, I'm going to start by adding a leaf. So remember we go thin, thick, thin. And you can always edit them, of course. I'm just adding a little bit more to mine. And then sometimes I find it useful to actually turn the paper, just the angle I find easier, so feel free to do that as well. I really enjoy painting these leaves. I'll do another one up here, so you just choose where you'd like to do them. They don't even have to be green, they can be whatever colour you like. So then I'll just do a few little shoots. Okay, just decide if I want maybe a few more just coming up near the top. You can always add more at the end if I wanted to. Okay, so I'll move that out of the way and I'm going to start with the yellow for my flowers. So I'm using the paintbrush to wet the palette, and then I'm using my cotton bud. So I'm just dabbing it in there and then dabbing it on. Normally I start by creating the main shape of my flower. It's just easier that way, and then I can work within it. So I'm just going around like so, creating that main shape with one of my cotton buds. It may be that you run out of water. You can always add some more to your tin of watercolours. The reason why I don't dip the cotton bud straight into the water and then onto the paint is just because it tends to get a bit fuzzy. The cotton bud tends to splay a little bit, and then you just get really big blobs. So that's why I use the paintbrush to add the water. And you can add a few cotton buds. So you can do a few cotton buds at a time. So I'm just going to add some to this red. And the reason I do this is because they're all at slightly different levels. So some of them touch the paper just a teeny weeny bit, and some of them give thicker marks. So I just find that just gives a really nice effect using more than one. Just be careful when you get to the very tip of the buddleia though, because you're not wanting it to be too thick there. I'll just water this down as well. Remember, if you're going from dark to light colours, you'll either want to change the cotton bud or use the other side, just so you don't mix your paints, especially if you're using that white. It may also be that you want to change your water, so I'm going to change my water now. There we go, nice fresh pot, especially when I'm going to use the lighter colours. So I'm going to water that down a little bit, and then use 3 of my cotton buds again. Oh, that's a beautiful yellow. I'm pleased with that. That's really nice. Now, like I said, you can do these on normal paper. It doesn't give quite the same effect, but do feel free to try it out. It may be that you want to try on your normal paper first, and then you want to do it on this special watercolour paper. That's up to you. I don't want to completely fill this flower in. It's nice to leave a few gaps. And there, I think I'm just about finished. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the darker colour now. Great. So once I'm happy with that, you can leave it to dry for a little bit. You might like to draw other things around it as well, but for now I'll leave it as it is. So our second project is the idea of using the cotton buds to create a silhouette. So I've chosen an elephant here, and I'll show you how I do this now. So the first step is to draw out the shape that we'd like to do. So I've drawn out my elephant here. It's just on a scrap piece of paper that was going spare. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scissors to cut out this outline. Now I'll show you how that's done now. So it's the background, the bit outside of the elephant, that I'm actually wanting to keep as whole as possible. So I'm not doing lots of little cuts to try and get to the elephant. Once I'm in, I'm trying to cut all of the way around in one go. And you'll see why this is. It makes the next step a lot easier if I've got the outside in just one solid piece. So I'll just go around this now. So if you're doing a piece like my elephant where it goes in and out quite a lot, you'll find it's a little bit trickier, whereas if you did something which goes less in and out, for example like a butterfly, and then you'll find that a little bit easier to cut out. So you can see the outside piece is still whole. Okay, so I've just cut it from there. There's a tiny slit, but that's okay, just where I've cut into it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my watercolour paper fits nicely. It does, so I'm going to lay my outline over the top, and you can see there are lots of bits that are sticking up like here. Now that's okay, but it'll just mean I'll have to hold those bits down when I paint. So just like when I was doing the cotton bud flowers, I could use my paintbrush to add water to the palette, or I can use my cotton buds in this case, because it doesn't matter if they get a little bit more squished, because you're not having to get that sharp round shape. It's more used for just getting the texture in there. So I'm going to go all the way around the outside first. You can see I'm holding the paper down at the place where I'm doing the dots. So I'm not having to hold it all the way around all the time, like there. That's okay, that's popping up. I'm just going to hold the bits down as I'm doing, just so it doesn't seep under. Now this can be quite a fiddly process, holding the paper down as you go. And don't worry if your first one doesn't go quite to plan. I understand it can be a bit fiddly to hold it down. The easier ones are where you don't have lots of bits that go in and out, in and out. So for example, something like a butterfly would be easier, whereas an elephant, because of all its legs, it's a little bit harder to hold down. So I'm just going to go round. You can alternate the colours as well. So I'm just going to go around like so. Now you don't have to use watercolour paper for this. It does help because it absorbs more of the paint, and it means that it's less likely to run underneath, I find. But you can try it on normal paper as well. It will work, just not quite the same. But the thing is, if it runs underneath anyway, you can just adapt the shape a little bit. I did that one with my one before, when I just did it on normal paper, just adapted the shape afterwards. That works fine. There's always a way. Even if it becomes something completely different in the end. So especially for these fiddly bits, I'm just going to have to hold that little bit down. Make sure I keep holding it down until I've done all of those edges there. Okay, last little bit. Wonderful. And now I've finished the whole piece, I'm just going to carefully lift off my paper. You might need it to dry a little bit first, just so it doesn't smudge. And there I have my outline. Now, like I said, I don't mind that a little bit is off, especially around its legs. I'm just going to neaten that little bit up later, and I can start filling in. There we go. I must say I really enjoy the sound of this cotton bud as it hits the paper. There we go. Okay, so I think I finished my piece. I'm happy with that. I might make it into a card or as a picture. I'm not quite sure yet. So once you've finished, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, you can, I would throw either the cotton buds, these have to either be thrown, they can't be washed unfortunately, or you can leave them to dry and then you can try and use them again. They won't be quite as good because they won't absorb quite as much of the water, but you can still have a go. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed. Remember just to clear your space. Very, very simply, the pot and the paintbrush can just be washed in the sink, and then the lid If you've used the top of the lid for anything, that can just be given a quick wash or a wipe, and then that can go back on, ready for next time. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you again soon.